Hey there, in this video, you're gonna learn how to add a logo to basically anything. It's pretty easy. This video also comes with a project file, so go download that and follow along. And now, let's jump into Photoshop. All right, now that we're in Photoshop, you should have three images. You should have this image of a model, an image of my logo as a PNG, and the image of my logo with a background. Let's start by dragging our logo 2 over and dropping it on our model image. Now, before we do anything to our logo or image that we're going to apply, let's convert it into a smart object. If you remember from our smart object tutorial, I mentioned about when adding logos and changing our images and stuff like that for product placement, that smart objects will be your best friend and you should always do that. So let's convert our image into a smart object. Right click on our layer, convert to smart object. Now we can start transforming. So Control T, let's resize this down. I'm gonna put it right on his t-shirt because he's representing Ruthless Graphics Productions. About there is good. Before I press enter, it's just a flat image and our model is actually rounded from his torso and his body and the t-shirt. So let's warp our image. So we'll go right click, we'll come down to warp, or you can also go edit, transform, warp. Now we can click and drag our image around to warp it how we want. So I'm gonna bring this up because his shoulders are round. Same with this corner. I might bring this down a little bit so it sort of follows the collar of his t-shirt. This one I'll drop down and we might bring this in a little bit to follow his body. Same on this side, maybe here. Bring that around, maybe bring that out. Once we've got it where we want, press enter. We're gonna go ahead and create a mask like we've done in our mask tutorial. So we'll click on our mask. We can go Control I to invert that mask. And I'm just going to grab my brush, make sure my brush is white, so we're painting on. And I'm just gonna paint it onto his t-shirt here. Now that we've done that, you're done. No, I'm just joking. This looks terrible. What we have are blend modes. Now, blend modes are a great way to start overlaying or getting an image to merge into another. So if we go over to the right, we have this little drop box right here. If we click on that, we can come down and we can drop this to whichever overlay looks the best. Now, I might go with multiply, which looks pretty good. And now you can start seeing the shadows coming through. And then we can just go ahead and, brighten this image or manipulate the image to blend in a little bit better. So if we grabbed maybe the brightness and contrast, we clip it to our image, and then we just change our brightness and the contrast to match. Remember, with a smart object, we can now switch out our image and it's already been warped and manipulated straight away. So if we double click on our smart object, maybe we turn that one off, grab logo 1 and we'll drag this over and drop it in, center it, Control S, and then look at that, it's been updated. Each image is going to have a different blend mode that will work the best, and it might not need the brightness. So you might like that look there. That's not too bad. Maybe I come down to overlay or soft light. I think I like soft light better. And we've already masked this out. So if we just unlink our mask with our image, I can then make sure my layer is selected and not the mask, just the layer. I can then grab my image and move it within that mask. And look at that. We've now added my logo, he's representing. Maybe we bring this up, bring this down a little bit. And there we go. Gone for a little bit darker. And that's pretty much it. There's a great way to add your logo to basically anything. Those blend modes are amazing. Making sure that you use your transform option to manipulate your image to suit the perspective of your product or model or whatever you're adding your logo to or image. and voila. Making sure that you just blend it in a little bit better with maybe a brightness contrast, maybe a hue or saturation. You might want to change the color. We can go ahead and do that. You know, we can do all sorts of things. Well, there you go, guys. There is a simple and effective way to add a logo or image to basically anything. A product, a t-shirt, a business card, you name it, you got it. So a quick recap on what we just learned. We learned to use the blend modes. Different blend modes work for different images. We learned to use the transform. We learned to use the warp, and then a quick recap on our smart object on how we can just switch our images easily and effective. And the mask, layer mask, again, we touched on that. Using all the stuff that we've been learning throughout this course, we've applied basically, what, 4 or 5 things in this one tutorial. So go ahead, play with that, add your logo to something, share it on Instagram, tag me in it, ruthless_graphics_productions. If you like my critique, let me know in that comment, and I will see you in the next video.